Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Ayush and I'm here to make programming simple and fun. In this video, we will cover all the C++ you need to kickstart your coding journey, from setting up your environment to loop, functions, and more. So let's dive right in. And don't forget to subscribe for more coding content. So let's start with basics of C++. What exactly C++, and we are just here to understand the basics. Got it? So let's start. So this is the introductory part. So exactly, what is C++? So C++ is a general purpose programming language. It means you can do a lot more things, not you just to solve only DSA problem. You can apply C++ knowledge in embedded systems, making drivers and so on. So this is a very difficult name to pronounce, Virgin, and this is I don't have great pronunciation, and it was established in 1979. So what were the most common features that C++ offer? It's object oriented, high performance, support multiple programming paradigms. Here the meaning of multi-programming paradigms is very simple. It supports top level and bottom level approach. Top level approach means your code will execute top to bottom. The order should be top to bottom, like general functional programming or procedure programming. And the another approach is bottom up approach, in which we use generally OOPS concept, object oriented programming. So we will discuss what is exactly object oriented programming and so on. So in this video I will be finishing all the most important thing that is in C++ in very short time. So let's start with the setting up your environment. First you have to install C++ compiler. If you are in Mac, so you don't have to install I don't think from external source. It is pre-built installed like Clang, and if you're using Windows you have to install MinGW GCC compiler. Okay, so what is compiler? So compiler is just a middleman, and this man, what exactly does this man? You just write code in C++, and you have to just give to the compiler, and the compiler will make the code that you have written in machine level language, and that machine level language will be executed on your processor. So that's the basic fundamental that you have to understand for learning compiler. What is compiler? And it is a very deep concept. You have to, it can't be covered in this video. So to make a video based on compiler, I will make a separate video for that. Got it? So what is IDE? Here IDE means it is just a notepad where you can write your code. Got it? So integrated development environment. So there are so many IDE that are present in today's era. Most commonly used is Visual Studio Code, CLAN, Code Blocks, Xcode, Replit, and so on. So let's write our first C++ program. Got it? So I'm writing. So first you have to start with hash include IO stream using namespace std int main and okay, and return 0. So this is the code, and this is the code for writing C++, and this is your first program. So how to execute this code? So you have to just go here and just run the code. Got it? And you definitely see hello world. Another shortcut, if you are using Mac, then you have to press Control Option and N. So directly, this is a shortcut in Mac. You should watch if you are using Windows laptop, then there is something different. There should be a shortcut to directly run this code. Got it? In your terminal. So this is your first. I know that you are not getting what I have written. What is this IO stream? What is using namespace? Let's start. So this is your first program. So here, what is include IO stream means? So for taking input and output, you have to use IO stream library. So IO stream is nothing, it's just a library. A library is a place where every code and the implementation of this type of code like cout, cin is written over there, and you have to just use it. So if you are including iostream, then simply it takes from the library and just work. So this is the basic fundamental, and this is your int main. It is a function, and inside this function you are performing this task, and this function is returning 0. So if this function is void, if it is not a void, but if it is a void function, then you don't have to return anything. So what kind of languages am I using? It's quite difficult to understand for a beginner, but if you deep dive and solve lots of problem, then you will definitely going to understand this all those things in very simple way. Got it? So let's move forward, and let's move some basic syntaxes, including that are in C++. So first thing I would like to explain what is data types. Data types means which type of data you are storing. So there are so many types of data that is in C++. Like int, what is int? Int stores integer values. Float, what is float? Float storing decimal values like 1.2, 1.5, 2.6, or any kind of decimal, positive or negative values. Character means just like means character. Character means you are storing just like a b c d types thing, but it should be in a single. It don't, if you want to store like apple, so you can't store in character. If you want to store a, then it can be stored in character data type. Another level of data type is string. So what is a string? It is just nothing, it is just a combination of characters. So if you want to store like apple, then you can store directly into a string. What is boolean? Boolean is just like true false values. Like if your age is greater than 18, then you can vote. So if the age is greater than 18, print 1, else else 0. So this kind of situation you can use boolean expression like 0 or 1, true or false. Simple. Let's move ahead. What is variable? So in C++ or any different programming languages, what is variable? So variable is nothing, it is just a container or a box where you can store the value. Got it? So here we can take this and we can combine both things in this first line. So int age is equal to 25. So what is age, what is int, and what is 25 here? So age is a variable, and in this variable just imagine a box in your mind, and just you have to think that this box containing only integer values, and the value in the box is equal to 25. This is simple. So if you are not getting it, then I will take another example. Float height is equal to 5.9. So float is a data type, and the box containing height, so the name of the block is also height. So the box is equal to 5.9. Got it? So let's move forward. What is input output? So in C++, input and output are very simple to understand. So here we are taking int data type, and the name of the box, the variable name is num. So first line we are taking input. For taking an input, we can use cin, and for giving the output you have to use cout, and both the implementation of cin and cout are included in that library that was iostream. Got it? That I have explained earlier. Let's move forward. So what is control structures? So I will explain in this IDE. So control statement. So let's understand. So control statement, you have to decide what you have to do and what you don't have to do. So if you have multiple conditions in your life, and you have to just choose, if you want to choose whether you want to be a doctor or whether you want to be a CA or an engineer, what you should choose. So this kind of problem when you encounter in your life, so this kind of statements helps you. So for example, if your age is equal to or greater than equal to 18, then you can vote. So how do you use this? So let's take, like I am assuming that your age is stored in int variable, in age variable, okay? And first then I will take input in this age. Got it? So in terminal someone can give the age, like here you can give your age like let's say 67. Got it? This kind of things. And you have to do something that if your age is greater than equal to 18, then you can vote. Got it? So you just have to write if means if this condition is true, then execute this code. So if age is greater than equal to 18, then you can vote. Got it? Else means your age is less than 18, then what you have to do? You don't have to vote. Got it? So let's execute this code. So control option and N. So if why this hello world is printing, because of this line number 4. So if you want that this line is not printed here, so you just comment it out. And now you don't have to vote. Okay. Why directly? Okay. It is because by default it is taking 0. Why? It's just a garbage value. So let's start. So if I am giving that your age is equal to 19, so what do you think? What code that could be executed? So you can vote. So let's press return. Yes, you can vote. So it's fine. And if your age is exactly equal to 18, then what should be the answer? You can definitely vote. But your age is less than equal to 18, let's say 12, then you don't have to vote. So I think it is going great. So let's comment all those codes, and you will find all the code in description box. You have to just download it in a zip file, and you will directly plug and play. With this PPT also, I will provide all those things. Got it? Another thing that I want to address you is that what is loop? Loop is very simple to understand. That if you want to perform a task, same task in many times, then you have to use loop. So if you want to print apple, let's say 1 times, then you have to just write and just execute, and apple is printing here. But if you want to do this 10 times, then you just have to do this. I think it is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So if you want to print 10 times, then you have to just do, and this apple is printing 10 times. But is this a good approach? And if I tell you you have to print this 10,000 times, then you can do this kind of things? No, you don't have to do all those things. Then what you should do? You have to just use loop. There are mainly 3 types of loops in C++, but 2 loops are also there. But you should understand first the basic loop is for loop. So what is for loop? So this is the syntax. You don't have to remember. You have to just write, and you will be getting easily habituated. So less than 10, I++, and just print apple. Okay. So I think it will be executing because I have written all the syntaxes correctly. So control option and N. This code is printing something. If you want to print this 100 times or 1000 times, that it also be executing. Yeah, it is printing 1000 times. You can see it. And I'm deleting all those stuffs. So I think I'm able to explain you what is a loop or what is a conditional statement. So let's move forward. So what is a function? So let's understand what is function. So function is nothing. Function is just like basically if you are in your home and using your remote to switch on your TV or off, or volume up or volume down, or changing channel one up to down. So what does it does? So it is basically simple to understand that when you are using all those things, then if you press something, so you are giving input and your TV responds and give you a output. So what is basically doing there? So basically your TV is performing a function. Your setup box or your TV is performing some action. So this kind of action is called function. You This function will do the volume of function will volume up that thing, and volume down function will do volume down, changing channel from one to another. It will do that kind of function. So function is just like a, you have to basically write once and use many. If you want, like for example, if you want to add a is equal to 2 or b is equal to 4, and just you have to printing sum is and I think 2 plus 4 should be equals to 6. I think your sum is 6. But if I want to tell you that you just have to change 2 to 8 28 and this to be this many times, so is it feasible to doing all those stuffs? I don't think so. You have to understand function. What is function? So to understand function, you have to first write all the logic. You just copy this and just paste it down. Where first you have to make the function. The what is the syntax? What is the correct syntax for writing a function? Like void means it will not return anything. Okay, sum here you have to write int a, int b, got it? And the logic, this is the logic how to add two things. So you have to just copy here and just paste over there, and that's it. If you directly use this function, so I'm executing, so nothing is showing. Why? Because I'm not calling the function. If you make this function and that's it, then nothing will occur. But if you want to use this function, then you have to perform. How do you perform? Just write sum, and these two arguments are the parameters. So the first is int a. Here in int a you can write some integer value like 2, or int b you can write anything that you want like 5. So directly it will give you an output 7. Got it? Why 7? Because you are giving 5 and 2, and 5 plus 2 is, everyone knows it is 7. So I think you can solve multiple types of question using this type of things, function. Got it? So what is function here? So this function is not a void function, it is an integer function. So to be a integer function, it has to return something, but here I'm not returning anything. I'm just printing. So if you are using void function, then you don't have to return anything. But if you are using int type of function, or bool, or a character, or string function, then you have to return something. So we will discuss all those things in detail, but it is a one short video, so I can't explain each and every fundamentals, what goes behind the scenes. So let's move forward. So what is object oriented programming? It is it is basically a different kind of approach to solve a problem. So there are two concepts here. I will explain very briefly about that. And in any interview that is asked, in any interview, most of the interviewer asked about what is object oriented concepts or object oriented paradigms. So you have to understand. So what is classes and object? So what is class? You just imagine like a factory of any car, like a Toyota. Okay, so what does the Toyota factory do? It makes cars. So what is class here? So here class means just the factory. And what are the objects? The car, the Toyota car, like Innova, like Krista, or everything. So these are the products that the factory makes is object, and the class is the factory. So class is producing something. So class basically makes a template or blueprint, and the objects are real world entities that is being covered in class. So let's so this is the class car, and this public something called access specifier. What does it does? So I will explain in some different video, but you have to just understand that everyone can access it. Okay, and this is a string type of data type, and brand is the name of the variable. Okay, and this is a function void display, and if you basically poke this, or if you just write, or then it will executing the this thing cout brand. If you're using this display then function, then it will showing the brand. Okay, and there are some key concept that you should understand while solving C++ should be in basically in oops concept, that should be encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. You should at least know what does it means. This is your homework. So let's move forward. So why should we understand or learn the C++? So because this is very high performance and highly efficient as compared to different languages like Java. No, Java, yeah, Java and Python or JavaScript, any new uh, languages, it is fast as compared to, and it has rich standard library because it is very old, one of the most oldest programming language, and it's portable, flexible. So conclusion, I recap all those things that I have given you in this lecture. That was what is syntax, data types, control structures, oops. And next step, what you should do, practice some basic program like printing patterns or writing functions like this number is even odd or even, or this number is prime or not prime, this kind of question. And you should know something called STL, standard template libraries. Okay, and the most important part, if you are giving a interview in basically in C++, then the interviewer has to ask about pointers. What is pointers? That's it for in this video. So that's it for today. If you found this helpful, like, share, subscribe, and write your thoughts in comment below. So don't forget to subscribe for more coding content. Thanks for watching, and see you in next one.